Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians Cast Unlimited, episode 26. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with David Aston. How are you, sir?
Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Matrix Lord 212. First time I've ever been on a show even related to the Real Whovians in, so many years that it was actually Matt Smith still.
Yeah. How you like it, Capaldi?
Oh, well, I'm not going to spend too long on this, but I think he's been sort of disserved, really, because the first season he was a very sort of William Hartnell, very sort of awkward character, which made him more interesting. Wonderful line, "She cares, so I don't have to." I love that line.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden he's some sort of guitar playing sort of Bill and Ted character.
Right.
And in this he's a sort of, Doctor Who magazine referred to the first story of this season, the current season, as the perfect, almost the best sort of thing of, companion dynamic. He's sort of looking after Bill, essentially. So, but I think he's been kind of wasted, and having a gap in his series didn't help, but never mind.
Do you think that the writing they don't know how to write for Capaldi? Maybe? Anybody? Moffat? I mean, do you think they're giving him a bad shake with the stories? And
I think Moffat, I think, gets a lot of unfair stick, but some of it, you know how opinions are.
Yeah.
A real balanced opinion will point out somebody's flaws and weaknesses. And with Moffat's case, as I've said on the Whovians and many other Doctor Who radio show and other things, it's really a combination of, I think, Moffat sort of stretching himself too far and being sort of limited by the BBC budget and 13 episodes. Because in America, they have cars in the background, and they also have 22 episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, The Walking Dead has become sort of like they
Huge.
just walk. They walk around a lot,
and sometimes there's not even any walkers in the episode. It's just humans.
Oh, really? Bloody hell!
Yeah.
But if The Walking Dead, were caught when they were naked and
yeah, you never see that. You notice that?
It'd be the wanking day. They'd be stuck in a perpetual sort of
stick, whatever the heck.
Having a hard on.
Right. Yeah, you imagine.
Never actually be able to finish it, as it were.
Oh boy.
No bacon, but no sausage.
So you look like you lost some weight. How you been? Everything okay?
Really? Have I?
Yeah. You look like in your face you lost some weight.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I'm not. I haven't had a scale for the last 3 months. So basically, in a nutshell, I've sort of ended up in the council flat due to getting in trouble with the law, and that's why I haven't had the internet.
Right. But
I'm working on it. I'm working on it, though.
I'm really glad you're okay. I'm really glad you're back. I would really love to see you do your Doctor Who radio show. I think I missed that a lot. Because I used to watch that, and that was really something awesome that you did. Even before I did videos, when I was just a spectator, just commenting and stuff like that. I mean, I had a channel, but I didn't have any videos. So it was really nice to watch your take on Doctor Who and your show. So I hope that continue one day. That would be really nice to see.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the show's certainly changed a bit.
Yeah.
I thought the style of the recent episodes is probably the best sort of direction, and the quality of the direction on this set it just feels different. So it makes the fact that it's Capaldi's last season sort of a bit sad, really, because
it is sad.
It's a bit like Tom Baker's last season, and that was always bound to be his last season. But it felt, like a sort of new beginning, but it's not a new beginning. It's a new beginning, but it's also the end, but it's been prepared for.
Right.
Especially
it's the end, but
in the auditions.
It's the end, but the moment has been prepared for. Yes, that's my favorite line in Doctor Who.
Unless you're Moffat, obviously, in which case he's just making it up, isn't it?
Well, we had some interesting episodes this season. I really liked the oxygen episode. I don't know if you saw that. It was like in space. Did you see that?
Oh, well, I remember it vaguely. The first episode had a sort of
puddle monster.
It's a sort of gay sort of romance, and a sort of devil tempting and trying to fool the humans type thing. And then later you had Nardole, sort of appearing more, and Oxygen was. It was like 42, sort of a bit cold.
Mm-hmm. What about Extremis? Did you see Extremis?
Oh, Extremis, yes. Interesting. I think Big Finish have been ripped off again because they did a story. They did 3 stories actually, a trilogy.
Okay.
Featuring the first 2 stories had the 6th Doctor meeting the 8th Doctor audio master, then the 5th Doctor meeting Pratt's sort of burnt face, pizza face type thing, and then you have Soretta McCoy's Doctor meeting both the masters, and I think that's a little bit. The timing of that seems rather devious to me.
I see.
But I was thinking that before. I thought, wouldn't it be awesome to have a multiple
master story? Yeah.
What on earth is that noise?
That'd be great. Oh, that people are. It's spring. People are mowing their lawns and having their yards cut, and that's what's going on out there. There's like trees flying around, and the leaf blowers, and everything else. This is what happens on the weekend, on Saturdays and Sundays.
A weed whacker.
People have all these men working on their lawns on each property, and these guys come with bands, and they just. That's what they do. Sorry for the noise, people. Yeah. I just got.
They're making the noise. I'm not making the noise.
They're making the noise. I just got the David Tennant audios.
Yeah, fucking hell, yeah.
So so now season 2 is going to have Billie Piper, which I am very excited about. I'm so happy that they got that.
Well, actually, normally I would have hated her coming back. I actually rather like the idea of it because. I was thinking the other day, actually, Big Finish have done the impossible. They've done a story featuring virtually every Doctor, with the exception of Chris Eccleston. They've got the early adventures, with Peter Purvis.
Well, they haven't got Matt Smith to do, but they had somebody to voice them over, right?
No, well, Peter Purvis and Chesterton, William Russell.
Yeah.
That's the first Doctor. You've got Fraser Hines doing the 2nd Doctor.
Yeah,
you've got somebody else doing a pitch perfect 3rd Doctor. You've got Tom Baker doing, Tom Baker, because nobody can do him, let's be honest. You've got Peter Davis and Colin Baker, Soretta McCoy. They've been doing it since the beginning.
Yeah.
And you've got Paul McGann. And then you have, not anymore, unfortunately, but the John Hurt, which was a coup in itself.
Yeah.
And then you got Mr. Alonso, Mr. Tennant.
Yes. You know what I think next year? I think they're going to get Christopher Eccleston. I'm feeling next year they're going to get Christopher Eccleston and do a season.
I think he's done a Tom Baker. He's sort of mellowed and warmed up a little bit about it, possibly, because there's that video where he actually.
There was somebody's wedding that he helped out
in a pub. A bunch of Whovians were. I think it was a bloke he was trying to, propose to his lady to be.
Yeah.
And he came over, and it was sort of a really sort of impromptu thing. So.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. At first, I thought he was a bit of a standoff wanker, but the simple fact is, since then he's been very private. But he always was. But he's made it clear that certain individuals probably were a little bit. I think most likely mistreating people backstage.
Right.
And that's something he didn't like, which,
Yeah.
and good on him, he stood by his principles.
And, he's a very honorable, like, very respectful. He wasn't going to name names. Like, he wasn't going to say, I had a problem with Russell T. Davis. And then he wasn't going to say, I had a problem with Stephen Moffat the second time, because Stephen Moffat wanted to bring him in the 50th, that he's the one that pushes the button and not Paul McGann, and that he was and who the hell wants to be known for that? Like, when he just regenerated and encountered Rose, why should he be the one that pushed the button and killed all those people? So
an absolute waste of the whole point of the Doctor up to that point was that he was guilt-ridden, by what he did in the Time War. With David Tennant's Doctor, sadly, he was literally tormented big time by it. With Matt Smith, I always say that the 11th Doctor was finally coming to terms with what he did in the Time War.
I agree.
So have that fucking reset button. What the fuck is it with writers anymore? In the old series, they literally wrote cliffhangers to try and fuck each other's the writers up, But now that it's like they haven't got any balls. It's like the bloke who writes Game of Thrones. This wonderful quote from him. If you kill off characters, I'm paraphrasing, but if you kill off characters, at least have the balls to keep them dead or something.
Right.
It's
Moffat always brought people back a lot.
Why kill off characters? Why have a dramatic plot line if all you're going to do is just reset it? It's the most laziest thing ever. It's like doing a reboot. It's like rehashing a beloved series. Terminator, I'm looking at you, with not a woman but a rather crap actress. So plus it's kind of it's not fair to the actors. It's not investing them in anything, and it's to be terribly honest, taking the piss out of viewers because they've invested God knows how many hours, in your characters, and then you pull some bullshit.
I think that's why a lot of the fans lost faith, because every time Moffat's going to kill somebody, he's going to bring them back like 5 times over, like Rory, Amy, Doctor, Clara. I mean, Strax, Jenny. I mean, he's killed everybody, and he's brought them back. Even Clara with the Raven. So the Doctor too. The Doctor died, I don't know how many times in 4 billion and a half years. He came back. So, even the Master too. So, like, how many times are you going to do that? And people are going to lose faith with, like, he'll just bring them back. Osgood, he'll bring her back. And that's what happens. That's why there needs to be rules where once somebody dies, they stay dead.
I'll tell you one of the best fucking endings of a TV show, right? Sorry for saying effing.
That's all right.
Endlessly. But the reason Blade 7 is so good is because they actually had the balls to kill off all the characters at the end. And what that did is that made, well, not just for a bleak ending, obviously, but it basically made the Federation out to be far more deadly and unstoppable than they thought. And I've read several times, Joe, one criticism I've read is that the Daleks don't kill anybody anymore. That's what made them scary. I mean, them exterminating somebody out of the blue, like David Daleks, the controller, when he's been discovered as actually finally discovering his conscience. They say, "You have betrayed the Daleks. You will be exterminated." Then he says, "Who knows? I could have helped exterminate you." Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I can remember lines just like that, even when I've had several points.
But now they say exterminate, and you wonder if they're actually going to exterminate. Like, they like talking to him to death. He's with Bill, and they're like, you could have shot him 20 times already, and they're waiting for the puddle monster there to absorb the shots. Which, by the way, I may have called the creature the Puddle Monster, but in episode 3 of Thin Ice, they named the monster the Puddle Monster. So it's not just me. So it'll be in the magazines and everything, Puddle Monster. So
I noticed something about Bill on the front cover of Doctor Who magazine, which really intrigued me. I'm showing a bit of breasts. Now, for a straight bloke, that's nice, but
right.
I think they're trying to sort of court, bisexuals and gays, which is a good thing because, well, they're part of the audience, for fuck's sake. But
right.
yes, I don't have time for. I don't mind. Well, before I say this, I don't have a problem with diversity per se and a varied sort of, more interesting.
I'm going to mute myself because I think that thing's getting louder. I don't want to muffle your voice, so let me just mute myself and you can talk.
I can talk. Hey, I'm interrupted. Diversity is good. It is true that for far too long there's been a sort of limited sort of casting thing. Yeah, yes, you had Geordie LaForge, who was behind a visor. You had Worf, who was an actor behind makeup, so you can actually see them. But I think the problem with diversity, unfortunately, is that it basically achieves the same thing as, well, sometimes it sort of kind of defeats itself. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I like the fact that it's become more varied, and there's some people who really are sort of getting upset over the smallest thing. Oh, it showed a gay romance. So fucking what? Who gives a shit? They're not telling your kids to go over to another little girl and start banging her or whatever with a dildo. It's that simple. It's not going to interfere with your ability to believe, in any religion or not believe in any religion or believe or disbelieve in any gender if you don't want to. You have that choice. It's a television show. I mean, it's Matthew Waterhouse was gay. John Nathan Turner was gay. Do we give a fuck? Russell T Davies brought the show back with many others who were women. And
Russell T Davies was fantastic. So
without him, without Julie Gardner, without a woman in the BBC who actually had more faith when a lot of BBC people didn't want it back at all, they actually gave it a chance. Credit where credit's due. If you don't like their gender or whatever, then fair enough, or sexual orientation, then that's your choice. But stop being a cock.
I agree. And I think that, John Barrowman was great, in Doctor Who. He's probably coming back. I do apologize for the noise.
I'll tell you this something about John Barrowman, right? He did a thing on Facebook criticising Trump. But the thing is, I think it was when he was appointing somebody who, I think the LGBT community was worried about him because he had made some list. Sorry, I'll be down in a bit. Sort of pro-gay sort of comments, and he was nothing but polite. This is a guy who's amazing. He's an old Hollywood guy. He can do literally anything: acting, straight acting, comedy, on stage, dance routine. He does.
He can sing.
Yeah.
He's a great singer. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a bloody album. I mean, fuck right. He's like Freddie Mercury. His talents are so vast that he can literally hit any notes. And I would have thought, a lot of singers would look to him. I mean, they would be envious of him. I mean, Freddie Mercury, Jesus Christ, what a talent.
I know. And now he's coming back to the UK because he's done with the Arrowverse. So he's going to be doing Torchwood audios, and who knows if he's going to be in Doctor Who again, which I'm hoping he is, but we'll see.
I think he's done some Torchwood audios, and I see, again, I don't know what's happened to Arrow because I haven't had the internet, but I believe he was that sort of great, that white-haired bloke who was the villain at the end of Arrow season 4, the one with the sort of
Damien Dark.
Pole. Yeah,
Damien Dark, yeah.
Damien Dark, yeah.
That wasn't what happened to him in the. I'm not going to tell you what happened, but there was somebody else in the finale. So
some sort of parallel universe or whatever, and they were actually become good guys or something. So, but again, this is John Barrowman, so if you have to, even if it's a crap reason, just keep him in the show for fuck's sake.
I think so. I think he should be with Tennant in the audios next year too, or the following year with him. Maybe he's going to be appearing with him.
What would be really nice is actually, it would be nice for the 10th anniversary of the 9th Doctor, but it would be very nice if, well, they got Billy Piper on board, they got John Barrowman, so if they get Christopher Eccleston, and that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
That's the goal. I think Chibnall's got to like piece the ways with Christopher Eccleston somehow and say, "Look, we're going to give you."
My stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Still got it, man. You still got it. That's why you need to do the radio show. You got to do the radio show, man. I'm telling you.
I'd love to, but I managed to piss off all my ex-Whovian friends. I mean, I'm going to say this now. In the same way that I've happily, done a video with you, I'd happily extend it to the same courtesy to Mike Shannon and Tim Wells and other people. So, to any of the Whovians who are watching, I'll be very happy for you to appear on any show I do in the future. Past is the past, and I've moved on. In the last 3 months, I've been I'm on probation basically, so I've already been turned down for a job purely for that fact. So I've eaten, like I said to somebody else, I've eaten not just I haven't eaten just humble pie, but an entire restaurant of humble pie. So heals wounds, water flows under bridges.
Time does heal all wounds. I mean, look at us. I mean, we're talking to each other, and the whole Whovian tube war from the chat that time in Facebook, a little misunderstanding. But I mean, and then the whole thing, you split the whole community.
Split the community.
Right down the middle, damn it. But I'm glad that, look, everybody, time does heal all wounds, and we're all about Doctor Who above ourselves. So we want many podcasts, even if we don't get along with each other. We want everybody talking about Doctor Who because we don't want it canceled. That's the main thing we don't want. So I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad that you're healthy and you're well. And I'm glad that we're talking again. It's before I was doing casts, and I do apologize about the noise, but I was a spectator. I used to watch you. I used to watch many people, and I really loved your radio show. And I'm the one that came after. So I know who came before me. So I do show a lot of respect for you, and I'm glad that we're getting along. So that's cool.
Holy crap. Jesus. That's good. I do appreciate that. That's really nice of you.
I'm not a monster either. I know sometimes people think, because I do like 1,000 episodes of Real Whovians Cast or whatever, I think I'm full of myself. No, I'm just a passionate guy. I love Doctor Who. I love spending my money on Doctor Who. And, I wouldn't be who I am without Doctor Who. I wouldn't be a writer. I wouldn't be anything. So that's it. And I'm glad I got to meet you and many different people over the years who had the honor. I had the honor of being on your show, and I'm glad that you honored me by coming on my show. So
you're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
All right. So I'm going to try not to talk because I don't want to, you could talk a few minutes. If you got to go, let me know. Say your piece.
I must go, but I have a mission for the Time Lords, which is watching Doctor Who. Unfortunately, it's been delayed probably by their greatest enemy, worse than the Daleks, British football. Soccer, as they call it in America.
And people taking vacations, too, where they don't have a season of Doctor Who and they have specials or they have nothing. We have one episode, damn it. The whole damn year. Stop taking vacations.
One episode. God damn it. God.
I just want to bring also, too, the fact that, yes, it's nice that Doctor Who is confirmed till Series 15, but...
Shit.
Yeah, but the year is taken off, so it's no longer commissioned till 2021, but just know that they may take a break a year here, a year there, and it may reach to 2030, and we still won't get Series 15. So... or it might be few episodes per season. We don't know. That doesn't mean anything.
But no season next year either.
Well, Chibnall's taken off, but I don't know how long that means. How long is it going to take off? Are we going to have Doctor Who next year, Series 11?
If it's a woman, she probably needs a year to put her makeup on.
I hope it's not a woman. I don't know. Would you watch it if it's a woman?
Well, here's the thing. How shall I put this without sounding sexist or too feminist?
It's not sexist if you don't want it a woman. A lot of members don't want the doctor a woman.
No.
So.
Interesting thing is, every time they posted this same fucking article with 12 women who could play Doctor Who, Emma Watson wants to be Doctor Who, and every other British actress who's called Emma as well. But it's the thing, they overlook several things. One, it has to appeal to the mainstream audience. That's a big mistake that late 80s Doctor Who didn't make. Well, it did make it. I mean, it should have made that mistake. Secondly, it's almost like a sort of gimmick if you have a female woman, because that's not original anymore. I'm sorry to break it to some feminists. I'm slowly becoming a feminist, sort of. Probably wouldn't go down very well. The truth is, a woman is cast as Doctor Who. She could be the best fucking actress who ever lived. She could be absolutely superb, just like Peter Capaldi or David Tennant, etc., or John Pertwee. But the problem is, she wouldn't stand a chance. She really wouldn't. She would be, there'd be feminists criticising, there'd be some boring old male farts criticising, there'd be unlimited sort of scrutiny from the press, which probably does the heading of what it has done since 2005 of every actor who's taken a role. So you can't win, So if I presume Christopher Eccleston just never bothered to, even read the reviews, which if he did, thank fuck for him. And but I think I would judge it. No matter how much I dislike or like it, I'll judge it purely based on the stories. And I think I'd give this the female Doctor beyond just one season, and I wouldn't sort of, take any side really. I just do what I did with every single Doctor before, just enjoy it and just judge the stories that and whoever's producing it, which is Chris Chibnall, some bloke doing some TV show called Broadsword or Broadchurch or whatever it is, some bloke called David Tennant. I have no idea who he is. Who? Who knows?
I can't believe that David Tennant's going to be doing a movie with his Jessica Jones counterpart there, Kristen Ritter. It's going to be like some type of thriller. Speaking
of David Tennant, there's a video on YouTube actually where he seems to know a lot of. I've watched it, and he seems to know a few secrets about the end of season 10. So.
That's interesting. I wonder who told him that.
Well, he did in the video, but.
Well, the Mondasian Cybermen are back. David Bradley is going to be the first Doctor in the Christmas special.
Oh, fuck off. That's not true, is it?
Yes. Maybe Clara might be returning for Regeneration because they do got the diner that they're filming in. So that is confirmed that the diner is being filmed in there. The TARDIS, possibly.
They have a TARDIS and they're women, so they must have a kitchen.
I didn't even think of that. But Clara's ready to serve you, I guess. So there you go. So a Capaldi Regeneration, Gallifrey returning Christmas time with
the Quarks are returning as well. You're muted, man.
The weirdest sandwich I've ever seen. Clara and David Bradley and Gallifrey all mushed into one weird combination. I don't know.
That sounds well in New York, though, doesn't it?
In sandwiches?
In certain strip clubs, so I've been told.
Man, everybody's got to do their lawns the moment I'm doing a video with you. Really? God. Hopefully they're almost done. But anyway, so I'm drinking my soda, which I shouldn't be drinking soda, Coca-Cola. There you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. But anyway.
Here's the party.
So when are you coming back? You're going to be coming back sporadically? Are you going to be doing your radio show? Are you going to appear on my show? What are you going to do?
Well, I think I would have to go with the very difficult word to pronounce, sporadically.
Sporadically, okay.
I don't have a regular incident, and
yeah,
I'm working on that. I'm trying to do the flat up, trying to get back on my feet, as it were.
You'll be okay.
And
I have faith in you.
Yeah, if I hope I don't get. If lots of people suddenly sort of comment on my videos and say when you're coming back or whatever, which they're probably not going to anyway, but I wouldn't be able to tell them anyway because I honestly don't know myself. So
yeah,
if I sort of I come back here to my mum and Phil's. So I suppose I could do a video once a week with yourself or somebody else.
I am praying for you, and I hope everything works out for you, and I hope we get to see you in many, many, many shows, whether it be your own or with me or whoever. But honestly, you were before me, so I show respect there, regardless of our differences that we've had in the past. It's by Zygons be Zygons.
Zygons be Zygons. Yeah,
I have to get that book actually. I think it's by Simon Fisher Becker. He's Dorian Moldovar. He wrote a book called "Let Zygons Be Zygons" for Doctor Who. So I want to buy that.
Better known as Simon and Garfunkel. They should be Zygons.
Right, but yeah. So I'm glad. It's time does heal all wounds. People get together, and then you forget why you fought in the first place. It's all like hullabaloo in the end, So.
Yes.
Really is. It's not, so Doctor Who is the important thing, and we're glad we have it on air to talk about in the first place. It could be worse. And, again, it's been a privilege to have you. It's an honor to have you, sir. I'm glad you're back. So there you go.
Keep moving.
All right. Take care. Bye for now.